When you were a little kid, did you ever make YouTube videos?
How's it going, Brett? My name is Vampire. But thank you guys so much for watching this episode. If you liked it, punch that like button in the face like a boss!
Well, I know I did, and I can tell you that I definitely wasn't alone in that. When I was in school, I knew so many people with YouTube channels. Whether they were Minecraft channels, general Let's Play channels, or vlogs, it seemed as if almost everyone I knew at one point or other had one. And I think it should go without saying that I was one of those kids too. I knew people who were inspired by PewDiePie, Captain Sparkles, and so many more. I knew people who proudly spoke about their channels, and I knew people who would hide them like the plague. But in some cases, people were making videos for other reasons. For some people, creating videos would serve as an outlet. And all the way back in 2007, a channel named Bumpityboo was doing just that. Online, I've seen this channel described in many ways.
We watched him essentially go through puberty and describe the nightmare that is his existence through interpretive dance. He's incredibly funny to me and just weird. He reminds me of myself when I was his age, just some weird 14-year-old uploading goofy shit to the internet. I think about him just about every 4th of July. What a legend.
It doesn't look like Bumpityboo ever attracted a very large audience, but the audience he did attract seemed to be very affected by the videos they saw. It appears as if they felt a true connection to him, even if it was through a screen. These videos are still talked about in online circles to this day, as being nostalgic, pure, and mysterious. I say mysterious because Bumpityboo has not uploaded a video in over 14 years, and it seems as if his small yet devoted fanbase miss him very much. Just looking through the comments of his final upload tells you all you need to know. So what exactly was it that made people feel such a kinship towards this seemingly average channel? And what happened to the creator of this channel? Let's find out. Upon visiting the channel, the first thing we have is the About section. Hello, I'm Jeremy Frederick Wilson, aka Bumpityboo. That's my nickname. I do not like speaking to people unless I've known them for a very long time or they prove themselves to be exceedingly trustworthy. Mainly I talk with my mom, my computer, and my 2 friends. I love my computer. I also love being organized, especially with folders in my computer. In addition, I am very fond of playing the French horn, reading poetry, doing interpretive dance, and doing independent research. I also appreciate the wonders of elves and elves. Yes, there is a difference to be explained in a later vlog, and I will believe in the important role they will play in the future of society. I am just beginning to vlog and like YouTube a lot. Thank you for your comments, views, and subscriptions. Out of curiosity, I went to an old archive of this channel just to see if anything changed. And besides YouTube's layout itself, fortunately it did not. This archive, which was from 2008, is able to show us how dedicated his fanbase was at the time. The newest video, which was added 2 days ago, already had over 1,000 views, which is pretty impressive for the time. As for the other stuff on this page, remember when YouTube had a friends list? Remember when YouTube had favorites and a bulletin board? I haven't thought about these things in a while, and I think this small trip down memory lane serves as the perfect prelude to the content itself. As for the content, let's begin with the very first video, Vlog 1, which was originally uploaded on August 26, 2007.
Hello, my name is Jeremy Frederick Wilson, but my mommy calls me Bumpityboo, and I guess you should call me that too. People always tell me that it's a silly and ridiculous name, but I think it's nice, and it fits me very well. Well, anyways, I start a new school tomorrow, and I'm really scared because I never really talk to people except people I know for a long time. Practically my whole life, or a minimum of 12.5 years. That's why I talk to my computer like this, because it knows me and I know it, and it's not a new person, so I can feel comfortable with it and tell it secrets and things like that. I think it's pretty nice. My mommy always tells me that I could do the same things with a real person if I made friends, but I don't really understand how to do that. What do I just do? Go up to someone and say, "Hello, I'm Bumpityboo." That doesn't really make sense. So instead of doing that, I just talk to my computer. The point is, though, that I am really nervous for school. So to make me less nervous, I memorized my schedule and I've already packed my backpack with all stuff for each class, and it's in order. I guess I'll have a locker, but I think I'll carry around my backpack because it's organized and in order. Like my computer. I have a very complex folder system on my computer. There are no loose files. All of them are in folders. Most of them are in at least 2 or 3, sometimes even up to 15 layers of folders. For example, I have a Jeremy folder, and in that I have a 2007 folder, and then in that I have folders for school, music, movies, and pictures. If I wanted to find my class schedule for my new school, I'd go into Jeremy, then 2007, then school, then general information, then scheduling and events, then schedules, then click on my class schedule. Some people say that this is a stupid waste of time, but I believe that it is very critical to my organization, comfort, and sense of self. Anyways, I'm just rambling, and I do that when I'm nervous. I'll talk to you, dear computer, after my first day of school. Goodbye.
As this video comes to a close, all I can say is, I feel you, man. This took me right back to that feeling I had when I first had to begin middle school. My first day of middle school was a total nightmare. As somebody who has always had anxiety, jumping from elementary to middle school and balancing all these new teachers and friends was a really difficult task for me, so I really understood what Bumpityboo was going through here. Underneath the video, unfortunately the comments aren't available anymore, so I can't see what people were saying at the time, but due to the support he has received in hindsight, I can only assume it was pretty positive. Just as I did, people must have been able to relate what they were seeing, right? Above all else, that feeling of authenticity and honesty is very sweet to look back on. The second vlog, An Ode to the Sun, begins showing us one of the most important aspects of the channel, interpretive dance.
Hello, my name is Jeremy Frederick Wilson, but you can just call me Bumpityboo. So, I've always loved classic poets such as Keats and Coleridge. And also my mommy was a professional dancer until recently, and she inspired me to begin interpretive dance lessons when I was 5. Today I will combine my two loves to make this masterpiece. I hope you enjoy.
Ha 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 ha.
Oh, how I love the rising sun. Watching it is really fun. Its color bleeding through the sky makes me incapable of suppressing a sigh. The clouds become purple and red as I stare out from my bed. Its light entering my window, preventing me from feeling low. Seeing your light is really grand, like playing a French horn in my bandstand. No wonder the elves love you dearly. I wish I could hold you much more nearly. But you are a burning ball of fire, and you would surely burn my attire. If closer to your warmth I would have to pay a toll, but even from a great distance it permeates my soul. We try to warm ourselves by burning coal, but sitting in your lights works much better. It's kind of like wearing a magic sweater, knitted by the elves, though none of those are on my shelves. Anyway, back to the sun, and even when the day is done, and you are leaving the evening sky, your warmth remains so we don't die. And really, I don't want to lie, but it's hard to say goodbye to the beautiful sun.
Honestly, this video really took me by surprise. I thought this entire video was going to be live and in one take like the first vlog, so seeing a fog effect and multiple cuts really had me impressed. Again, it's so sweet to see the way he talks about everything, whether that be his mom, his dancing, or the sun itself. I noticed that this video did receive a fair amount of dislikes this time, but once again, with no comments available, I can't exactly see what's being said. As the vlogs go by, it's clear that these seem to serve a very similar purpose to diary entries. Many of the topics within these vlogs are just mundane, everyday things that happen. There's rants about the beach, excitement about getting an extra cookie in your school lunch, and in vlog 6, we get some updates about Jeremy's school situation.
Hello, my name is Jeremy Frederick Wilson, but you can just call me Bumpityboo. I know I have not been vlogging lately, but I assure you, it is because of a good reason. Now you are probably wondering why I'm hiding under this umbrella the entire vlog. Well, while I was gone, I have been receiving a lot of feedback with suggestions on how I should make some new friends. And I will admit, the friend situation has gotten rather dire. So I'm taking some of your advice, and today I will mess up my hair a little. So now I will reveal my new look, my new style. I hope you like it. and I hope it makes me look, as kids in my grade would say, a little more hot. Well, here it is. I need you guys to give me a little feedback on this in the comments section, because I'm not going to actually try it out in front of kids my age until you guys tell me that you like it. And also, a girl in my class is having a big party on Friday and everyone in the grade is invited. That means that she's inviting me, and I really want to try out my new look for the party. So, tell me what you think. Bye.
As we saw, Jeremy kind of casually says that his friend-making situation is dire, but this is also the first video that he addressed his comment section, so I found that very notable. As for the hairstyle, did the comments suggest that he wear it? And how did that party go? Well, in the next vlog, we get our answer.
Hello, my name is Jeremy Frederick Wilson, but you can just call me Bumpityboo. Well, this is the first time that I really wanted to come out and talk about the party. It was a disaster. All these people were really excited about going, so I thought I should be too. I even made my mommy buy me these new pants, which really looked nice on me. They gave me this nice, tight feeling, and I really liked them. So I was wearing these pants that my mommy had bought me to the party, and I went to the party, saw these kids bumping and grinding, which I find very disrespectful, and I don't like it. So I went downstairs to see if I could pick up a game of chess or anything like that with a kid, but nobody was down there. All of a sudden, a group of the cool kids came downstairs, and they came up to me, and they didn't really say anything. I heard one of them sneaking behind me, but I didn't care to look. And then all of a sudden, my pants were down around my ankles, and they all were laughing and cracking up, and I didn't think it was funny at all. I just started crying, and I ran upstairs and sat in the corner next to the chaperone. I called my mommy, and she picked me up. I told her what happened, and she said we should complain to the principal. But then I knew that if we did, more kids would just throw me into lockers and beat me up. And I don't want that to happen. Well, that's all I have to say about the party. Goodbye.
On his following Halloween vlog, these tales of bullying continue. He mentions how he was bullied at school for his costume and how his mom only lets him go trick-or-treating during the daytime.
I went to school dressed up as an elf, and lots of kids made fun of me just because that I was dressed up as an elf. They took off my ears and fooled around with them and then gave them back. And I found it very disrespectful to me, my mommy, and the entire elfish race. My mommy only allows me to go trick-or-treating during the daylight because, number one, I am scared of the dark, and number two, it lowers the chances that you will be hit by an automobile or attacked by a mean person. Still, my mommy will walk me up to every doorstep just in case of a bully hiding in the bushes that would attack me. When we got home...
Around this time, it also becomes more and more apparent just how interested Jeremy was in elves, as at one point he even states that the religion he followed was the Elven religion. On vlog 16, we would see something very noteworthy. The vlog itself came out on May 3rd of 2008, and it was actually his first vlog in months, marking the first time where there was a prolonged absence from the channel. The vlog itself is pretty standard, as it's just updating us on where he was the whole time.
I have not made a vlog for 3 months, and have not even signed on to YouTube for 2 months. I am flabbergasted that I lasted this long without a craving to vlog.
But the real noteworthy part of it all is here. This video's comments are available. Now we can finally get a good look at the types of things people were saying when these videos were releasing. There's quite a big range of comments. There were many people who were very supportive and sweet. Lots of the comments I saw were very polite and mentioned how much they liked seeing these videos. But there were plenty of other ones too. A pretty common type of comment I saw was basically assuming that these videos were trolls or fake somehow, with somebody even mentioning that these videos are similar to Lonely Girl 15. There were a fair share of mean comments too, which I suppose is to be expected from this era of YouTube. Weirdly, in many of the other following vlogs, the comments are unavailable again. In vlog 21, Bumpityboo reveals that he's joining a chess club and hopes there are other people to play there, and luckily for him, he did find one person to play with.
Well, anyway, I hung up flyers all around the school. And last Wednesday, which was our first meeting, nobody showed up. So I had to play with myself, which is much less fun than having someone to play against. But today, somebody showed up. It was so exciting. So we planned our first match for next Wednesday during lunch. I hope tons of kids come out and cheer us on. I'm so excited. Ta-ta for now.
I have to give a special shout out to vlog 23 because this one is really funny.
I have to keep this snappy, but I have to tell you this really quick story. So a couple of days ago, my mommy told me that my cousin, Tom, and his friend were going to spend the weekend with us. It was the greatest news ever. I was uber excited. We would play chess, reenact Elven Wars, and frolic and play in the woods. However, a couple of minutes ago, him and his friend got here. And his friend was a girl. He brought his girlfriend. And they hold hands and put their arms around each other and all of that disgusting stuff. Yuck, 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 yuck. It's so gross. I can't believe my mommy didn't tell me he was going to bring this Victoria girl. Yuck. Now it's just going to be a really awkward stay. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boysy. We won't be able to play any fun games or anything. Well, I have to go hang out with them now, and I hope that they both like chess. Well, so long for now.
On Christmas of that year, Bumpityboo would make another vlog, which for the second time happened after quite a long absence. In this one, he explains why he was gone for so long, and we get to hear of the extremely high standards he sets for himself academically.
It all started the first week of school this year. I had a mathematics pop quiz, and I received an 85 on it. An 85 out of 100, and I just thought that that was totally unacceptable for myself. And I decided, because of my poor performance, that I should punish myself somehow for it. Because an 85 is not a good way to start your high school academic report. So I did what everyone else would have done in the same situation. I grounded myself. And by grounding myself, I banned myself from using the internet for anything other than academic-based things. So YouTube was out of the question, and I had to discontinue my vlog until I could come back.
On New Year's Eve, he addresses all the resolutions he set at the beginning of the year to see if they were a success, and overall, despite everything we have seen, he says that 2008 was a great year for him. Following this video up, we hear of 3 more New Year's resolutions.
Number 1. Be a better son to my wonderful mommy. This one stays on the list because my mommy will always deserve better. Number 2. Spend more time creating poetry and working at interpretive dancing. My last real poem and interpretive dance was an ode to the sun, which was way over a year ago. So this year I've decided to spend much more time on it, and I'll begin making new videos of my interpretive dancing starting very soon. When I make progress, you will see it on my vlog. Number 3. Improve at Bikram Yoga. As I said, me and my mommy have been taking Bikram Yoga classes. I love Bikram Yoga. It is a great workout that helps you build muscle strength and also improves your mind. So I have to work very, very hard at it this year, and I hope to excel in it. It will help me not only physically, but also mentally. Well, cheers to a happy, merry New Year's. To you, my wonderful listeners. So long for now.
In his Ancient Elven India vlog, he gives an update on his school life upon returning to it after winter break. This time we hear details about how much he loves his history teacher, and about how he thinks a section on ancient elves should be added to the curriculum. Finally, we make it to what is the most famous video on the entire channel, his 4th of July video. With over 100,000 views and several mentions of it when I was looking online, I can only assume this video was a bit infamous at the time. Unfortunately, this video's comments are also disabled like the rest of them, but within the video itself is the first interpretive dance in a while.
I know yet again I've not been dedicating enough time to my vlog. However, today I created a new interpretive dance and poem routine. I think that it is great. I hope this is the climax, the outpouring of all my creative juices since my last interpretive dancing video, which was over a year ago. Well, anyway, this poem is in the format of an English sonnet, and I really like it, and I hope you like it as much as me. Again, happy 4th of July! I hope you all celebrate it carefully and wisely. Well, here goes nothing. I hope you enjoy it. Oh, so many years before today, our founding fathers, with their signatures, sculpted the greatest nation, as some say, one that to this day still grows and matures. This our home, this our country that we love, which we all celebrate July the 4th. The men who made us completely free of British tyranny, which reigned south and north. Free from this, we join together in bliss, to honor all those who came before us. But we do not just sit and reminisce. We look to the future as we discuss the bright prospects of our nation so dear, which must proceed with strength and lacking fear.
The vlog that immediately follows that one might be even more notable to me though, because haven't we all had a moment like this?
Bumpityboo! I know what you must be thinking. What on earth happened to his hair? Well, let me tell you, it is a big change. However, there is quite a story behind this. 1 week from this very day, I was enjoying my Bikram yoga class like I normally do. Well, I was in Bikram yoga class like always, and I began to realize I was getting very hot and sweaty. And my mommy noticed this too, and it's just not like me. And I could not even concentrate on the routines or the moves that I was supposed to complete. It was just dreadful. And I mean, everyone in the class began to notice that I began to fall behind and I wasn't my normal self. After the class, my wonderful mommy and I decided, you know what, a trip to the local salon would not hurt me. So we went down to the local salon and asked the lady there for a little trim. The lady asked for no further clarification. I went down and sat in the seat, and next thing I know, she shaved my entire head. I was quite shocked, and my mommy and I were just amazed at what this lady had done. In the future, my mommy and I will definitely have to clarify a little more clearly, because this new haircut is just far too short. It's all spiky, and I can't even part it or do anything. I try and do my normal middle part, but it just won't work out. I've put so much gel into it, and it just still stays the same. I do not like it one bit. I will have to be sure to make sure my instructions are much more clearly next time I go to the salon. Well, it will grow back eventually, I guess. Ta-ta for now!
After this, we get a vlog with probably the wildest title so far, Musical Sexual Education. This is one of the longest vlogs on the entire channel so far, and it also finally has its comments open again.
Today, my mommy and I were driving to the local grocery store. As we were driving in our car, we decided to turn on the radio and tune into NPR, National Public Radio. However, we must have made a mistake when we were trying to change the channel, because somehow we got tuned into a so-called popular music station. I later discovered that the song we were listening to when we tuned in was Love Game by a new artist called Lady Gaga. Now, I found some parts of this song very complicated, and this is mainly because of Lady Gaga's use of grammatical constructs. However, I found most parts quite interesting and almost touching. For instance, this part in the middle of the song. I'm on a mission, and it involves some heavy touching. Yeah. She is telling her listeners that she really wants to tell them a message. And she continues, you've indicated your interest. I'm educated in sex, yes. And now I want it bad. Want it bad. Here Lady Gaga is using her fame to draw attention to the importance of sexual education in the public school system. While her choice of syntax does slightly obscure her message, a careful listener like myself can clearly detect her meaning and pick up on it very easily. When I researched further, I learned that this is quite the common motive in many popular music songs, including Sexy Back by Mr. Justin Timberlake, a song which encourages schools to bring back sexual education into the curriculum. In the song Sexy Back, Mr. Timberlake says, I'm bringing sexy back. You other boys just don't know how to act. This states that he wants to bring back sexual education because kids these days just don't know how to act and how to conduct themselves. I know that my choice of vlog today was rather risque, and indeed it was. And I apologize profusely if I have made any of you the slightest bit uncomfortable. However, I just really wanted to tell you that I did misjudge this so-called popular music, and I want to recognize my error and the real value of the words these popular music singers do have. I also found, while researching Mr. Justin Timberlake, found that he was part of a group called SYNC, whose music I have discovered that I do quite fancy, and it is very enjoyable. Well, until later. Bye, 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 bye.
Overall, I found this to be one of the most interesting of all the videos so far. Throughout these videos I've watched so far, I don't think it's any secret at all that a lot of Bumpityboo's beliefs have been coming from his mom. And with the way many of the past videos went, I also don't think it would be too surprising to see him dismiss popular music, but that actually doesn't happen at all. The way the argument flows as if it's a school paper is also something I found pretty amusing. I think that there are a lot of things you could take away from this video here, so let's see what the comments were thinking at around this time.
Jeremy Frederick Wilson, the only one who can make me cringe and laugh at the same time. Seriously though, this is what happens when your parents shelter you from profanity and anything non-formal. Growing up without the knowledge of the darker parts of society is never good in the long run. As uncomfortable as this vlog made me, I want to applaud you for having the courage to get the message out to everybody. Bravo, Mr. Boo. Wow, I first saw this guy a while ago and I thought he was legit, but upon watching this video, I've concluded that he is a most masterful troll. Bravo. I can't look away. Also, for the people who comment meanly, I must say this is just a kid. Try to control yourself. Guys, he is a troll. He does not actually live this lifestyle. He doesn't have that voice. He is not that much of a nerd. He is making YouTube videos to gain negative attention, and he's being very successful. Come on, open your eyes. This type of person does not exist. There's just no way. Not trolling. Overprotective dominant mother plus non-existent father can lead to a bunch of personality disorders, in this case a mix of dependent and schizotypal PD. He's really far in and would need immediate psychological help from a competent psychologist, quite rare, to have a chance at regaining some of his social development and to leave his mother's poisonous protective shell.
In Odd Land Sign, the following vlog, it's suddenly December 31st, another very long absence. In this one, Bumpityboo tells us about being up with his grandma and dad for the holidays again, and eventually he shows off yet another interpretive dance, this one including singing.
Now I am back home, and I just arrived home yesterday. And I decided, in honor of the new year, that I thought it would be quite a blast to perform Auld Lang Syne for you. I will be doing a little interpretive dancing along with it. Well, enjoy your New Year's, be safe, and here goes nothing. December the 31st, such a fateful night, when one whole year comes to an end, when the clock strikes 12. Should old acquaintance be forgot and never brought to mind? Should old acquaintance be forgot and days of Auld Lang Syne? For Auld Lang Syne, my friends, for Auld Lang Syne, we'll take a cup of kindness yet for Auld Lang Syne. Should old acquaintance be forgot and never brought to mind? Should old acquaintance be forgot and days of Auld Lang Syne?
After this, we get our coveted New Year's resolution video. In the last two, the resolutions were very similar to each other, but this one is very different.
This year for me, it was just a nice quiet day alone with my wonderful mommy. I think it was great to really just be alone and come together in celebration of the new decade. We snuggled together on the couch watching the lovely film Enchanted. I realized I had to post my 3 New Year's resolutions. Well, here they are. Number 1, join one of my school's dance troupes. I know I've got the moves, but I just spend most of my time performing in the pit on my French horn. I really want to have the spotlight on me and all eyes on me dancing, and just me on the stage getting my groove on. Number 2, perfect the Ganda Baransanza, aka Scorpion's Tail pose. It is quite the difficult yoga pose, but I really think with hard work I can perfect it. I will also need to improve on my stretching routine to give me a higher chance of perfecting it. Number 3, be invited to my first sleepover ever. This is the first year my mommy has given me the go-ahead for going to sleepovers. However, there's only one problem: the invite. I will have to work on making a good enough friend. Hopefully one day this year, I'll enjoy a wonderful sleepover with a good buddy. Well, that's all. I hope you all can hold your resolutions, and I hope I also keep all of my resolutions. And I wish you the best of luck and hope that this year is a very productive one. Well, that's all for now. Ta-ta for now.
In A Cold Beginning, Bumpityboo unfortunately reveals that he may have come down with a cold, but in much better news, he may have made a new friend.
Well, anyway, this week wasn't entirely bad. For example, on Monday, I went into my history class, and out of the corner of my eye, I spotted this new boy. I was wondering who this new fellow was. and my questions became answers when my teacher came into the room. The new boy happens to be named Cecil, and he just moved here from California. How exciting! And it turns out he seems to be a very nice kid. I had hung up chess club posters all over my classroom, hoping that the new year would bring new members to the chess club. The poster says, "Chess Club. Join today and rejuvenate the great forgotten sport." Unfortunately, because of a scheduling conflict, the only other member of the chess club was forced to quit. So that left me searching for a new member. And it just so happens that Cecil saw the poster. He expressed immediate interest in the club. And he's planning on going to the first meeting next week. I'm so excited. I just put the poster up on impulse, and it seems to be an act of faith. Well, maybe I'll have a couple of good games of chess with this new boy Cecil. And maybe also, this new boy will prove to be my new best friend. Well, I'll keep you updated. So long for now.
It's been a very long time since Bumpityboo has talked about the French horn or his band class, and in the next vlog, we finally get to hear about it again, where Bumpityboo is given an exciting opportunity.
As I was going into band class, the band director told me to stick around and talk to him after class. And oh gosh, did I get nervous? You know how it is. The little butterflies start to flap their wings and create quite a hullabaloo in my little tummy. I started replaying the last few rehearsals in my head to see what I've done wrong. I love my band, and I love my band director. And I certainly hadn't done anything on purpose to infuriate this nice young man. But lucky me, at the end of class, my band director told me that he was pulling me aside with an offer. One of the songs in the concert is called Reflections from the lovely movie Mulan. And the director was offering me a solo in this piece. Oh, boysy, was I excited. Now, as he and I both know, the solo is a little bit boring, so he has given me permission to jazz it up a little bit.
After a few months of hiatus yet again, we get The Big Secret. With a title like this, before I even clicked on it, I was really curious. Lots of thoughts ran through my head, but what really is The Big Secret?
I know I have gone through a lot of changes recently. And my mommy has been very supportive with all of these changes that have been happening in my life. I've just not really been able to come to terms with all of them, and I did not want to come out on YouTube with them. A couple of weeks ago, I discovered and struggled with the fact that I am an IVF baby. In layman's terms, a test tube baby from an anonymous sperm donor. No, not like these sperm whales on my tie, but the bodily fluid. Search the word on Google or ask your mommies if you don't know what it means. I'm sure they'll be glad to tell you. I know mine certainly was. Well, anyway. It's just very painful. The most painful part about it is that there may be tens, hundreds, thousands of other Jeremy Frederick Wilsons running around the planet. All of us, not knowing the others exists and struggling with the pain of discovering that we were not created by a normal, hot and steamy coupling of lovers.
In just a few months, it's as if everything about these videos changed in an instant. What pains me the most about it is the contrast it has compared to every other video. In all of the previous ones, even when he would share really dark details about his school life and bullying, it was always shared with seemingly unbreakable optimism. In this video, that just isn't the case, but hopefully it is just temporary, a natural reaction upon first discovering news like this as a teenager. Thankfully, in the following vlog, it looks like the latter was true. He appears to be back to his old optimistic self, this time sharing details about an upcoming trip to his cousins. But after this, we make it to vlog 43, the final one ever to be posted.
Happy Halloween, everybody! Hello, my name's Jeremy Frederick Wilson, but you can just call me Bumpityboo. I hope you're all preparing for the spookiest day of the year. I love Halloween. It's just such a barrel load of fun. As you know, in the past, I've dressed up as an elf. I planned on making some changes to my classic elf costume this year as a demonstration of my deep respect for the elven race. But yesterday, my mommy came up to me with a brand new idea. This year for Halloween, I will be Bumpityboo. Get it? It's going to be a ghost costume. My mommy is just so clever. So this morning we woke up super duper early, did our normal invigorating yoga routine, which we do on basically every Sunday morning, and then got out the sewing machine and we started working on my costume. All morning long we've been listening to Monster Mash and other spooky songs and designing the costume, because it just can't be any ghost costume, you see. It needs to be Bumpityboo. So we made my costume outlined in lime green fabric, because that is my favorite color. Now we're cutting out signs, because I love yoga, and French horn and chess pieces in different colors, and covering the costume with glitter, and sewing them all over the place, because these are a few of my favorite things. It's just so swell. I'm uber duper excited to wear my costume to school tomorrow. I thought it would probably be against the rules to wear my costume to school on Friday, because it is a little bit too far away from Halloween, since Halloween is today, so I'm just going to wear it tomorrow. However, I did see some other children wearing their costume on Fridays. I'm getting a quick break from designing my costume while my mommy is making some treats for the local children who will be stopping by to go trick-or-treating very soon. Now, my mommy is making some yummy vegan cupcakes. We're going to give them out to all the trick-or-treaters. See, it's a healthy variation of a tasty treat. And we're just going to demonstrate that homemade food can be trick-or-treating candy. I see all these people giving out unhealthy snacks with probably around 200 calories per parcel. So now my mommy and I are going to give out these healthy treats, which hopefully everyone will enjoy, and I hope the parents of the children will also be very happy. Now, my mommy and I will be trick-or-treating from 5 to 7 p.m. tonight, before it gets too dark, and also because of safety concerns. And then we'll be handing out the cupcakes to everyone that stops by. I hope you all have a safe, spooky, and happy Halloween!
And just like that, that's it. This would be the last time Bumpityboo ever appeared. While we consulted these comments one time all the way at the beginning, now that we have context, let's look at them one more time.
I remember 10 years ago when these videos went viral for being cringe and such, and I thought it was hilarious, but now I'm watching through these and it's really wholesome stuff. Feel sorry now for laughing at that stuff. Hope they're doing well. Please give us an update on how your life is going. I wonder where you are now. Please make an update video. Nobody in the history of YouTube has managed to pull our legs and pull a disappearing act as effectively as the person or persons who came up with the Jeremy Frederick Wilson Bumpityboo act. We're never going to find out anything more about him or them. They vanished as thoroughly as Kaiser Soze. It sounds like you gave up with that fake voice. Yes, this has been the thing that affected me the most by these videos. Life was hard for Bumpityboo, and you can tell he's increasingly more depressed as time passed.
People then and now wonder what happened to Bumpityboo. So let's start off by consulting Google. When you search his name, the first results you get are a bunch of Reddit threads asking the same question. The post that got the most attention out of them all was this one. In this comment section, we get info about something that was stated in some other places too. At a specific point, all the videos on this channel completely disappeared and then one day just seemed to return, as if the uploader privated everything and then brought them back. I saw some hearsay about when the channel was privated, but from what I can see on the Wayback Machine, in 2013, all the uploads were private, and by 2016, they were back again, though they could have returned much sooner than that. As for the sporadic nature of his comment section, what's the deal there? Why do a few uploads have comments while the rest of them don't? Well, to me this one is a very clear answer, and I believe it's something that actually happened a lot more recently. In 2019, YouTube, in compliance with the COPA Act, made its uploaders decide if your content was made for kids or if it was not for kids. Content made for kids would not have a comment section, and this was all done in an effort to protect children on the site. This is all important to know because if you don't select whether content is for kids or not, YouTube will just decide for you. From my perspective and experience on this, the majority of all uploads like this, where the main feature is a kid or the content itself is very juvenile, will be marked as for kids, and as a result, they won't have a comment section. One of the very few videos that do feature a comment section is an upload with the word sex in the title, which helped confirm this theory for me. If a YouTube video ever has the word sex in its title, chances are it will not be marked as for kids. However, the final video on the entire channel also has a comment section, and that could be a different case. It could either be a coincidence in that the final video just wasn't marked for kids, or the uploader himself came back and put the comments on for that one, but I don't have an answer for that. All I do know is that the reasoning as to why his comment section is mostly gone does have a very logical answer. The previously mentioned Reddit post in question also found a Reddit user by the name of Bumpityboo, but there's absolutely no confirmation as to if this is the same person or not, and judging by the few contents it has, I'm just gonna assume it's a troll page. In scrolling a little further down the Reddit thread, you can find this. He was shot in April 2013. He was a victim of a home invasion. This article shows a homicide case involving a man named Jeremy Wilson, and the Reddit poster also links an Instagram page to confirm this. So, is this really what happened? Is this really the answer to our mystery? Fortunately, it's not. The Jeremy Wilson identified by this Reddit poster did not at all match the age of Bumpityboo. In the article linked, it shows that this Jeremy Wilson was 23 years old upon his tragic death in 2013. If he was 23 in 2013, it would mean that Bumpityboo would have been 20 in his final upload and 17 in his very first upload, which clearly is not the case. But things don't end here. On this very same Reddit thread, this comment can be seen.
I know him in real life.
In fact, underneath that comment about the Jeremy Wilson homicide, that same poster replied to it too.
No, that's not him. I know him in real life and he's alive and just turned 30 years old. I can show you a picture of him and you tell me if it's him in real life.
This comment was naturally extremely noticeable to me, but according to commenters, this OP never really followed up. While this poster did not give any proof towards their claims and can't necessarily be confirmed, I still decided to send them a message just in hopes that they were telling the truth. Unfortunately, as of writing this, I also have not received an answer yet. The only other notable thing I found online upon searching Bumpityboo was this blog post, and it followed what many of those YouTube commenters said at the time. It's all about how ridiculous this channel was and how much of a troll it must be. So with our search on the web not really doing much, where does that leave things? What do I think happened here? Well, honestly, I don't think it's nearly as much of a mystery as it's made out to be. Remember when I mentioned the sheer amount of kids I knew that had YouTube channels growing up? Well, what do you think happened to almost all of those channels? They're gone. Those kids moved on. For many of them, it was just a childhood phase that fizzled out as they got older. Some of the people I knew deleted their old videos entirely. Some of them had a bit of hindsight to private them instead, and some of them abandoned their channels entirely, losing their accounts altogether. Like I stated previously, I was also one of those kids. On my old YouTube channels, I privated all my videos and just left my channel standing, and you're never gonna find it.
For me, before Debunk File, I had a YouTube channel that I spent years with, almost my whole childhood with. Over that time, I was able to amass about 500 subscribers, which I thought was absolutely insane at the time. But as time went on, things changed. I lost my passion and motivation to keep uploading almost every day on it, and Sepp and I came up with an idea for a new channel, all about debunking mysteries throughout the world. As a result, I abandoned that old channel. Of the hundreds of uploads I had, I privated them all, and that is still the case to this day. I've never really thought much of that decision. To me, I just moved on to a new, greater channel. But do those people that watched me back then wonder where I am? Am I thought of as a mystery in a similar way to Bumpityboo? Or do people really just not care at all?
What we're both getting at with all this is that, at least to us, it seems clear that Bumpityboo's channel probably followed a very similar pattern to all of these. He was just a kid uploading some vlogs, and he kept it for a pretty long time, but one day, he just stopped. And I don't think there's any more to it than that. Bumpityboo's channel was such a nostalgic and at times tragic channel documenting the youth of a specific person growing up with the internet. These days, those positive memories surrounding the channel thankfully live on, but back then, the nature of the internet at the time was brutal. Bumpityboo gave many mentions of the bullying that he experienced at school. The internet was an outlet for him. As I said earlier, his channel seemed to serve the same purpose that a diary does, but even online, more bullies followed. People that assumed that him being himself was so ridiculous that it had to be a troll. But were they right? Was there merit to these claims? Was the way he was acting in these videos too over the top to be true? In this case, despite there not being any real evidence to support either side of this argument, I would also say no, and easily chalk it down to the more mean-spirited era that was seen on YouTube at the time. This is another one of those cases where I can say that when I was growing up, I knew multiple kids that acted extremely similar to Bumpityboo, and honestly, that was part of the allure towards these videos for me. It was the fact that I knew kids who were so similar to him. None of the reasons I've seen about why Bumpityboo must be a troll have ever been convincing to me, as most of the explanations either boil down to him being too much of a mama's boy, him reading off of a script, or him being immature. These are not very convincing arguments, so I'm glad that this aspect of the channel has mostly dissipated. While it's unclear as to how he really may have felt about them, Bumpityboo never even addressed a single one of the negative comments he received, instead staying true to himself in his videos. Similarly, despite the bullying he mentioned receiving and the awkward situations he got into, his optimism and his passions never seemed to fade. And I hope that today, wherever you are, Bumpityboo, that is still true. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked this video, make sure to like the video and subscribe. If you like the channel, make sure to check out our social medias, they're all going to be in the description below. Make sure to stop by our Discord, it really is the best place to chat with us and hang with fellow debunk enthusiasts. Of course, if you like the channel and you'd like to support it a little bit more personally, head on over to our Patreon, Debunk Plus. Only $1 a month and you guys get access to videos early, script PDFs, whatever random stuff we decide to put up, and more. As always, my name is Sepp from Debunk File. See you guys next time. Bye.